welcome to the Fermented Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Anna.
My name is Tiffany.
And we are here in Hawaii at my sister's lovely property. She lives on an off-grid ranch called Summers, Ina. I've been here for, not even a week. I have another 5 or so days left, and we are going to get some fermenting and some cooking videos in the special place called Hawaii. So the video that we're doing today is going to be a combination of several things. It's with a Pipinola, otherwise known as a chayote, and we are going to roast it, or not roast it, we're going to steam it 2 separate ways. One is a savory, one is a sweet, and then we're also going to try fermenting it. We have no idea how it's going to go, but I found a recipe online, and we'll see how it goes, and I will of course bring you along for the end product and let you know how it actually tastes. So the first step with these things, you can see it's a gourd, and it grows up in a tree.
Corn man squash. It grows on a vine.
Exactly.
It's growing on the
Did
other
I say
trees.
a tree? Oh, the vine was in the trees. So I will make sure to insert some video here for you guys to be able to see. It was on a vine. It was going all over the place in her backyard. So we got these suckers, and it's got like a seed that pops out. It's supposed to taste like a chestnut. And so
that's the roots for make a new vine.
Yep. There you go. So these things just grow everywhere around here. So we're just gonna cut these things open. We need to peel them off, or we need to peel them.
Cut the peel.
Yeah, cut the peel.
Potato peeler doesn't work on these very well.
Yeah, it's a gourd, so it probably has a pretty thick rind, right? So I was gonna watch Tiffany do this.
I'm not sure that this is very, very ripe. Yeah, it is. It's a little lighter on the inside than it is on the outside.
Yeah, this one might not be ripe. It's pretty little.
This one's probably more ripe. You can see the skin changing.
Oh, and plus the one that has the sugar beets ants in there might be good too.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna.
Where did you say these are originally from? Mesoamerica?
Yeah, Meso, something like that. I think so. Whatever that means, that's where they originate. But now it's saying that they're all over the world for the most part. And I've never heard of the Pipinola, but I have heard of the chayote.
Well, that's the Hawaiian version.
Yeah, just different names, same fruit. Ooh, stick it.
Yeah, that's going to turn into you're going to peel it off. You're going to feel like your hands are so dry when you're peeling your skin off.
That's interesting. You can see it's got kind of some fuzz to it, or some like suds to it almost. I think I've got that whole thing peeled. So do you cut the whole bottom off? I didn't do anything with the other bottom.
What's the same?
No, I mean here.
Oh, we're going to cut the meat off, and that'll be what we're left with at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Just cut probably into nice pieces.
Ants. This almost has like the internal workings of like a mango.
Yeah.
Like seems pretty similar. It's just got the big old pit. It's not like an avocado that the pit comes out, like you gotta cut around it, right?
I watched a video from Three Rivers Homestead.
I love them.
She was explaining the difference between the 2 different types of pits. A clinging pit and a non-clinging pit. This is a clinging pit. Shout out Three Rivers Homestead. I've been watching you.
Me too.
That's what we end up with. And inside is the seed that you can easily toss out with the roots, and it just grows with zero effort.
Let's see what's inside, because the actual seed. Oh, this is the seed.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting to like peel it away and there'd be like more of a seed.
No, that's
So
the seed.
this is the actual seed. Yeah.
Oh, here's the other one.
So do we just leave it as big pieces for this, or cut it up a little bit?
Yeah, it was smaller. Keep consistent so it steams at the same time. I wonder if it has something to do with the age, how that sap comes out.
Probably, or you're not getting much.
I am on this one.
This one I'm actually not. The first one totally was. I should turn that ringer off. Oh, that's my hubby.
Our water's about ready to steam.
Nice. Okay, so what's next? She's teaching me how to do this, and then I'm going to show her how to ferment.
Well, if we do 1/3 with the butter, 1/3 with the cinnamon and sugar, and then 2/3 for the ferment.
That's 4/3.
That's not what I meant.
I know.
But that, I think, would work out to be a nice ratio so we have snacks.
Well, why don't we just do all this, and then we can ferment the sugar ant one, or pick another one.
Anyway,
Okay.
it's up to you.
Yeah.
It's your video.
But it's your own to do.
We're just gonna steam them until they get soft, like cauliflower or broccoli. Just leave that be.
Perfect.
This we can see if the chickens want to eat it. I don't know.
Why wouldn't they?
I've never tried.
Scraps.
Don't know.
So let's go get another one, and then we can start fermenting. Because now that I think about it, on this recipe, I don't think we need any water.
I don't know.
Because you're supposed to be able to put the salt on it, and it like draws out the moisture.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get some.
Let's see what the boys are doing.
So now we are moving on, and we are doing the fermenting portion of this while the steam stuff is steaming away. We went ahead and got a few more of these things.
Pipinola.
Yeah, what she said. And so now we're just cutting them up, and we're just gonna get them cut into kind of bigger chunks because we're supposed to shred them according to the recipe. So we're just cutting away.
Yeah, much easier to shred. Instead of small pieces.
Yeah.
Now we can shred it.
Shredder. The boys are going for money ring.
The red.
Say hi to YouTube.
You're on the YouTubes. This is Scott. This is Tiffany's boyfriend.
This is my honey.
We're ready.
So we can 2 separate bowls. We need small bowls.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the butter in both of these, and so the next step is what? Salt and pepper in one? Is that right?
Salt and pepper in one, cinnamon and sugar in the other.
Just sprinkling sugar on there. What did you say?
Organic sugar.
Yeah, refined coconut oil sugar.
No.
It's a joke.
I know.
It's in the wrong container. That's actually a good idea though. Y'all go through a lot of coconut oil.
Salt, pepper there.
Okay. I'm just guessing, so we're just gonna do some sprinkles and then
Just like
go from there.
broccoli or cauliflower.
Oh.
Same idea.
That's probably good. Is one of these clean for me?
Yep.
I could see how this would be almost like potatoes or something.
Exactly. Exactly. It's a good side for your meats for each other. It's a good start. You could replace your potatoes or your rice with it.
Yeah, probably pretty low. It's low carb and low calorie. I was looking it up, and it said that these were a half a cup is, I think it was like 15 calories or something. So super duper light on calories. And I would imagine light on carbs as well.
I think it would be super yummy to bake them.
Oh yeah.
Just like apple pie.
Okay. This one is just like, I don't know, like almost like just like a potato. It's very mild flavor. It has a good texture. It really just tastes like a mild steamed vegetable with salt and pepper on it. It's delicious. Okay. Okay.
You could put more cinnamon, cloves, just like apple pie. I have to say, because I'm not a sweets person,
I like this one better.
I prefer the butter, salt, and pepper.
I do too. But this one's really good, especially if you have a sweet tooth, but you don't want to have a lot of sugar. You can just do it that way. You could also add alternative sweeteners to that to make it even lower carbs. Yeah.
Look at that buttery cinnamon awesomeness down there.
Okay. She's going potty, so I'm going to go ahead and continue with the grating here. And we're just going to put it in a bowl. I have a stainless steel bowl here, and we're just going to fill this bowl up. We're going to do it just like sauerkraut. I have a couple videos on how I make sauerkraut. I'll link those up here. But we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put it in a bowl, add some salt to it until it tastes like a potato chip, and then leave it. I should say, we're going to massage it in, and then once it starts to kind of release its juices, then we will leave it to let it extract the juices. And we're hoping to get enough here to make at least a reasonably sized 2 pint-sized jars, one for me, one for Tiffany.
Yep.
Because this probably won't be ready by the time I'm ready to.
We don't need sugar for a fermenter, we do.
Nope, just salt. Salt and caraway seeds if you have it.
There's chance. What would be an alternative?
Just a flavor.
Check out this place.
This is 2. We'll need more.
Substitute for caraway?
Yeah. Fennel, I would say that was going to be my first. It was either fennel or cardamom.
I'm going to bring this up to Scott. I want him to sample it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this is a super duper wet fruit. So I think that we're going to need probably at least double this. I think that this, honestly, once it shrinks down, I think maybe not quite double. Like I think we need like 2 more fruits. So I'm going to go get those, cut them up, and I'll bring you back. All right, so we got all of these shredded up. This should hopefully be enough that we can cram it into 2 of our pint-sized jars. And that was, how many was that? That was seven of the chayotes or pipinolas. And so now we're just gonna add enough salt to make it taste like, I would say like a lightly salted potato chip. A little more salt, you want it to be slightly more salty than if you're salting this to serve. So I'm gonna say, we're gonna start out with like a teaspoon. I don't think that's enough. We're gonna start out with 2 teaspoons. Okay, and then you just mix it in, and you wanna massage it in so that you can get the salt into, to kind of, I don't know, it's almost like an abrasive. It gets into the cell structures of the fruit. and starts to pull out the moisture. And that's what the moisture that you pull out of this, which the salt helps in, is what you use to cover it up. It's just the same as sauerkraut.
It's the same as sauerkraut?
Yeah.
I was imagining that you use more salt in sauerkraut. Is that not accurate?
I don't know. I've never done that.
No, you.
Oh,
You with your sauerkraut.
I use a little bit more, but I don't use a lot more because if you put too much salt in there, it will inhibit the good bacterial growth. Like there'll be too much, and so it'll take a really long time to start fermenting. So I just put, if like, usually a normal amount's fine. Okay.
It's very liquidy already.
Yep, and I'll keep drawing it out. More.
More salt.
I can't even barely taste the salt. Yeah, like that. Perfect. So with this, you can sit here and you can massage it and you can rub it in there for like 10 minutes like you do, a lot of people do with sauerkraut. But I'm just gonna get it,
already.
yeah, I'm just gonna get it going enough and then just kind of stop there. And then you will let it sit for like, the recipe said 5 minutes. So, and I will make sure to link the recipe down below. It's kind of a generic recipe, but, oh, the fennel.
Fennel seed in there.
The recipe calls for caraway seeds, but we don't have caraway. So we looked up, and a good substitute, according to Mr. Google Pants, is fennel. So that's what we're going to use instead.
How much do we need?
I'd say like a teaspoon. There we go. That's it. So I'd say like, I probably put about, honestly, if you taste it, I feel like it needs even more salt than that. Like I can barely taste the salt. Am I
That's
wrong?
pretty salty.
Really? Okay, I'm glad I asked because I would have added more. Maybe I do like it saltier than most. But you don't usually add salt to almost anything, right?
I love salt.
Oh. Okay, so we got about a teaspoon of fennel. It's not like any specific amount. We're just kind of guessing.
That was a teaspoon to start.
Yep. So now what we're going to do, we're just going to walk away for like 5 minutes. We're going to let the juices keep pulling out. Let me see if I can show you on camera how juicy it is. Yeah.
You can hear it.
You can hear it. And you can see it. So we're just going to I'm going to pull all of these down so it's into the pile for no real reason, just because. And then we're just going to let this set for 5 minutes so it can continue to pull the moisture out. So we are back. We let this rest for probably like, what, 15 minutes maybe? And I have a pretty good, you can see, I don't know if you can see, let me block my face here. You can see, it's like Elmer's glue. The sap like dries on your hands, like, you know, when you're in elementary and you just put the glue on there. So yeah, anyways, just showing you. So what we're gonna do now is we are just gonna take it out of here and put it into our jars. We don't have a kraut pounder, so we're gonna make do, and we're gonna use the end of the fattest like wood handle thing that you can find. It'll work fine.
Use the other ones. You don't have to have both dirty ends.
Oh, good point. So we're just gonna kind of divvy this up half and half, roughly. Thank you. Okay. To the next one. And so we're gonna just tamp this down as much as we need to fit these into both jars. But ideally, generally, the more you pack it in, the better, because that'll mean there's not any little air pockets inside, and it just makes it better that way.
The debugger would not be helpful at this point because the handle will do just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, we could have probably gotten by with even one less.
We still have a lot of space left in this jar.
Yeah. I think this one's done. This one's too full. We're gonna have to take some out.
Spoon.
You might want a fork. So we might have a little bit of extra.
The chickens will eat it.
Yep. Okay. So ideally, like a little bit less than this. You want it kind of about the shoulder. So that way you can put whatever kind of weight or whatever kind of cabbage leaf or something like that on top to hold it underneath the brine. But, there you go.
Do we need to disinfect the edges like we do with vinegar with canning?
Nope. Because we're doing it different with the fermentation. When you're canning, you're trying to kill everything. And that is your method of preservation, and that is how you're able to keep the food itself safe, because there's no bacteria in there to get going and to start breaking it down and to start turning it into toxin. With fermentation, you don't want to use anything that is like antiseptic or anything like that, antibiotic, you know, anti whatever, hand soap or anything like that. You don't want to use any of that kind of stuff. You want to just use regular soap and water, never bleach it, any of that kind of stuff, because you want the bacteria, you want the good bacteria to thrive. And if you make it in an environment where there's no bacteria in there at all, you can really mess up the ferment, because there's no good bacteria in there to culture, and whatever bacteria is in there is killed by the antibacterial stuff, and then it makes it so much easier for the bad stuff to take over. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. You're culturing bacteria, you're not killing it. Okay, so now we need to get,
It still has air bubbles though.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do next. Yeah.
Why did you bring your pickling pucks?
I got these from the Doug and Stacy fermentation course.
Cool.
So I got these when I went to HOA, and so I'm gonna leave one of these with Tiffany so she can have a memory of me. So I'm gonna leave her with the wide mouth because I want to have the narrow mouth because I don't have any. So we need to just.
Doug and Stacy.
Yeah, you gave my sister one of these.
Yay.
So we need to just wash these,
I'm so excited.
and then I'll show you what to do.
Just with soap.
Yep.
I'm so excited.
I leave you a piece of that's something that you can keep fermenting with. All right, so we got all of these cleaned up. You have a couple of different options that you can do with this. And with the wide mouth, it's a lot easier. You don't necessarily need any kind of a cover to it. I usually use cabbage leaves. You can use onions. I like to take the peels of the onions. Like, you just take the peel off, and that works just as well, and it adds a lot of flavor to it. You could even use the peels of these things to hold it under. Are these good and safe?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do that.
It's just not desirable to eat the texture.
Yeah. So you can see we have this nice big wide piece. We don't really need it so much in the wide mouth jar, but we're still gonna do it just for safety. And honestly, I think we need to take a little bit more. Is that a clean fork?
It's the same.
Okay. Because you want to make sure you're having at least 1.5 inches of headspace before you put. Oh no! Did all the liquid go away?
No, it's right over.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna need the liquid to top it off. Okay, so you can see once I show you, then you'll be able to see. So you can see kind of the headspace that we have on here. It's about 1/2 inch below. So that's what we're aiming for on this one. And then so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the biggest, widest piece that we can find. I think these are both good ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I got our 2 pieces. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it up here, and we don't really need to do much trimming on this one, so I'm not gonna worry about trimming it. And so we're gonna put it on top of here. I lied.
Can't shove it down in there. Or that wouldn't be good.
Okay. Whoopsie. Okay, so we're just gonna put it, can't see. We're just gonna put it on top here, and we're gonna tuck it around the sides, right? We're gonna tuck it in there, push it down, and this is gonna help to keep, you can see all the liquid that forms with this stuff. It's crazy.
And you're pushing out the air bubbles
Yep.
too while you're doing
Exactly. That's what the puck does too. So you're gonna push down on it, right? And we're gonna get all the air bubbles out, and you can see how high the liquid rises. So you wanna make sure you don't toss the liquid and you don't toss the excess until you're actually done with this part. And honestly, sometimes when I'm doing ferments, if I think I'm gonna lose a lot of the liquids, I'll save that liquid in the fridge so I can top it off with the right stuff.
Do you need rings?
Yep. Just some of your grossest lids that you just wanna throw away, or rings.
These are the ones that have already been used.
Perfect.
Or are undesirable.
So what we put inside of this jar, this is from Mason Tops. I have the regular mouth lid here, or the regular mouth one. I've never had this before, and I got 2 of these from the fermentation course that I took with Doug and Stacy. So I'm gonna keep these ones because I don't have any. Yeah. And the wide mouth one is actually better, in my opinion, but I just want to have a couple of these. So these are from Mason Tops. I will link down below. I will try and link 1 or 2 of them down below, like an Amazon affiliate link kind of thing. But these things are great. You get a pack of 4 of them. You get 4 of these, 4 of these, a recipe book, and a kraut pounder. And I think it's like $50 or something like that.
Ooh.
It's not a bad deal. And these things last for years. So we have the puck in there. We put the weight on top, or we put the pickle pipe on top, and then you just secure it down with a ring. And with these, it's not like canning. When you're canning, you want to just do like fingertip tight. I have found personally, I crank it as much as I can. Not like insane, like I'm not gonna get some big muscle man to crank it down. Like I wouldn't have my husband crank it down, but I can crank it down so that way my husband can at least loosen the seal. That's kind of what I do. And the reason for that is if you don't tighten it enough, the air can get up through here, and I think that aids in the possibility of it molding. So I'm gonna crank it on there.
If it does mold, is it visually obvious?
Oh yeah, yeah. If it molds, like there'll be, like if you keep the top clear and there's no, honestly, if you keep the puck underneath the water too, you're gonna have even less chance of molding. But if there's no food particles or anything on top, you need to go through it. For the first like week or two, you wanna go through it at least every day. Just take a peek, see if there's anything in there, and scrape it off if there is anything, and then toss it out. Some people are very sketchy or very, skeeved out by any kind of mold forming. I'm not. If it is a normal color, white or green, I'm not gonna stress about it. If it's like pink or black or, purple, like
other strange colors
I'm gonna toss it, honestly. Yeah, exactly. Like there could be any color mold. But if it's just a standard looking kind of fuzzy mold, it's easy to scrape off, I'm not gonna stress it, and I use it. If you don't, that's totally fine. That is your choice. I'm comfortable with it, and I've done it as long as I've fermented. So I just try and be as careful as I can be. And beyond that, if the mold chooses to form, I guess it's just meant to, so I do. But, so stress out about it as much as you see fit. And then you just wanna make sure since these are like fresh, homegrown, they're organic, they're gonna start to get activity really, really soon. Like we're talking within 24 hours, this thing is gonna start to bubble. So you gotta make sure that you keep it inside of a dish or something that can collect all the liquid that can pour out depending on how much headspace you give.
It'll pour out through here?
It will eventually.
Cool.
So yeah, it's gonna be active, and I have no idea what this is gonna taste like. It is totally an experiment.
I don't
I'm super
either.
stoked.
I don't either.
It should be fun. I think it's gonna taste a little bit like sauerkraut, maybe kind of like a mushy sauerkraut that you can just almost like I'm gonna guess it's gonna have like almost a crunchier applesauce texture. That's my opinion. That's my guess.
Good for your gut.
Good for your guts, and it'll help to populate, and it'll help to just help you feel better. I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna quit yammering, and then we will see you back here when we're ready for a taste test. Welcome back. It has been about 2 weeks since we have left our Pipinola to ferment. I can't remember what the other name for it was. Pipinola or I don't remember. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna give this a taste test. I have not tasted this at all, okay? My sister has. She sent me a little video of her tasting the ferments that we had made together, so I'm kind of excited. I don't know how I feel about this one. She wasn't super interested in it. Let's see if I can get it open. I might have to wait till my husband wakes up to even make this video. We'll try that one later. Okay, so we got it open now. Yeah, we got some calm yeast, but that's all. There's no mold. It's very fermented smelling. Time to taste this. Oh yeah, I have the onion on top. Okay, so we gotta dig around the onion in case it's not ready. It tastes almost alcoholic. I don't like alcoholic ferments. Okay, give it a try. Doesn't smell bad. Let me do a pH meter. Yeah, it's good. It's under the pH marker. I'm gonna try a little bite. I would agree with my sister on this one. I think it'd be good in small amounts, like as a small condiment. I can't see myself like digging into the jar though. It kept its texture. I almost wish I knew what it tasted like with the original spice that it recommended. I can't remember what spice it was, but the spice that we did use is very prominent, and I don't know how I feel about it. I don't like, I'm not instantly repulsed, but it's definitely, I would have done less next time. I would say probably I would ferment it a little bit less time next time. If you ferment it for less time, I don't think that the heat would be quite so prominent, or not the heat, pardon me, the spice. I don't think the spice would be quite so prominent. So I think that would probably fix both of those problems, just fermenting it for a little bit less time. But it's still super crunchy. I'm surprised. I did not think it would stay crunchy at all. I'm very pleasantly surprised by that. So I think with this, it would probably be just something to add to a salad. I bet it would taste really good in some kind of a salad. It doesn't really matter what kind of salad. You could do like a lettuce salad, a kale salad, a potato salad, a macaroni salad, a chicken salad. Just add that into there and it would kind of disperse the flavor amongst it, so it wouldn't be quite so strong. It's not salty at all. And honestly, the alcohol is just in the smell. It's not in the taste at all. I didn't taste any alcoholiness. So that is definitely a bonus. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and got to have a glimpse, at least in the mainland, into something unusual that I don't know that we have it here. But it also is called the poor man's squash. So I feel like you could do this recipe with almost any squash. So that's gonna be something I'm gonna try coming up. I bet this would be really good with zucchini. I don't know how well zucchini would hold up to it, but that is definitely something I'm going to try next year when we have zucchini again. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.